Welcome to the Take Care Sis podcast with me, Ki and Kiki.
Join two friends for a conversation around self-care in real life. We'll talk about anything on the spectrum from bubble baths to setting boundaries to managing friendships and more.
As your sisters, we also just want to provide a weekly check-in. You know, like big sis asking little sis, sis, you good? So come on in, sis. Let's talk about how we can take better care of ourselves.
Hey, Ki.
What's up, Kiki?
How are you?
I'm a little tired, friend.
I understand. I'm tired too.
Yeah, man. Like I was being social this weekend. So, you know, my meter, whew, yep. But it was for a good cause. But my meter was a little low. And then it's kind of cloudy here today. So, yeah. And it's roundabout nap time. But I'm gonna make it through.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And how are you?
I'm okay. It's been a lot of personal things that's been going on this weekend. So if I seem a little low energy, that's why.
Do I need to fight somebody? Do I need to come to Greenville and fight somebody?
No.
Okay, good. Because I probably not going to come. But I was going to think about it real hard.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I was going to think about it. Listen, friend, I was going to think about it real hard. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We got you. Yeah. So I don't know what you said you were going to do for accountability last week because we fought on it. And I never said what I was going to do. So.
Right. So I don't know. But what did you do last week? Like, did you do anything for self-care this week?
Not really. I'm not gonna say not really because I mean, making sure I get my proper rest is self-care. So
yeah,
I'll be trying to do that. I did make it one night without having to take medicine for coughing.
Mm-hmm. Hey, coffee shop. Okay.
One whole night. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Coffee shop. I'm gonna caution you to go to the doctor, friend, and get some cough medicine.
Nah, I'm good. I'm really not coughing as much as I used to.
Okay.
It's really I don't know. It's like sporadic. It's unpredictable. It's like, hey, one day I'm good, and then the next day it's like, hey, I'm back. Okay, bye. Hey, I'm back again. I'm back.
This is really reminding me of that commercial with the flip dude. Mm-hmm.
The Mucinex dude?
The Mucinex dude, yes. Because, you know, he be coming and going. Mm-hmm, him.
No, he be staying. Most time he come with bags and stuff.
He be trying to come with bags. So
he be trying to come with bags. It's
he
just, you know.
It's in the bottom of your throat. And he comes up every now and then to make sure you're okay. However, it makes you cough when he comes up to visit.
No. No, but I did so this week, and I'll be posting this on my YouTube channel. If y'all don't know, I got a YouTube channel.
Kiki has a YouTube channel.
And this karaoke. So a couple weeks back I attended a virtual YouTube event for like Black women creators. And this was like at the end of my COVID, the end of my COVID journey. And I was like sitting here like, am I going or not? Because I don't feel good. But I did. I put on some makeup and a hair wrap and I went.
Listen, I'm going to be sad when we stop doing virtual meetings. I am.
Girl, I was just like, I was on the edge. I was like, it started at 7. It was like 6:30. I was like, am I going to go to this meeting or not? So I got in the mirror. I felt okay. So I went ahead and put makeup on and went. But after that, they sent us a gift. So I'm going to be doing the unboxing of my gift. I'm not going to say what it is because y'all going to have to go and watch it because I need some views. Thank you. I'll
Y'all go
show
to
you.
Sis's YouTube channel and watch her unbox this gift.
I'll
from
show
the
you,
people.
Key, after we finish recording, but I ain't going to say what it is for y'all. Y'all go watch. Thank
Go
you.
watch. So
I'll
sis,
even put it in the description because by the time I put this episode out, my video will already be live.
go on watch now. This could get some views.
All right. So last week, what did we talk about last week?
We talked about what type of people you want to keep around.
That is right.
I'm gonna need to keep some people around who remember what we did last week.
You don't even remember what we did last week.
I just said what we did last week.
But you want to be remembering what we say for accountability.
No.
Exactly. See? Sis is about to come for me and she knows she don't be remembering every week. She know it.
That's because, listen, the way I feel usually on Sundays is because I have my good wind down on Saturday where I didn't do nothing. And then Sunday, I'm revving back up for the week. So Sunday, I'm on my good foot, right? Sunday's the day that I usually do my admins, like all things admin for my personal businesses. So this is yoga with Key stuff. This is take care sis stuff. Like that's what Sundays are. And I start to plan my week for, Nakia, the other girl, the one that has to work at my job and, be sorority girl, all that other stuff. Right. So I'll be on my good foot on Mondays, right? And then the problem is, here we go. The week happens and the foot gets a little less good. And so, no, I don't remember what I said on Sunday. It's just like those memes where they be like, me going to the event that I replied to or RSVP to or agreed to when I was in a good mood. That's my Sundays. I be agreeing to all sorts of shit that I'm probably not going to get to, or I might not get to. If y'all want me to come to something, invite me on a Sunday.
Are you sure?
I mean, I might not come.
It better not be around that time either.
Right. Listen, if you ask me anything during that time, just be prepared.
She be nice to me sometimes, y'all, but I don't be trying to cut into that because I ain't trying to see that key can stay over there.
Somebody woke me up from my nap yesterday and they were asking me a whole bunch of questions and I was like, can I talk to you about this later? She was like, sis, what's wrong? And I was like, nothing, I was asleep. And she goes, oh. And I guess she's one of those people that just wakes up because she was like, she tried to go back into the questions and I was like, hey sis, can I call you later? I needed a whole minute and she was just
on it.
Bless her. I love her. I do.
Yeah, so last week we talked about the six types of people that you should stay close to. We gave our own opinions of what we consider people we need to stay close to, and we also went over an Instagram post by Nedra Tawab. I'm hoping I'm saying her name right. And she explained those six types of people, and we just kind of clarified those people in our lives. Yeah, that was last week. It was a good episode, y'all. Y'all go listen if you haven't. And if you haven't, we still on your next. Go listen to it. Thank you.
Go listen. All right. So look, you know what else happened last week? Honey pot was trending.
Ooh,
why?
Girl. So the honey pot, which is a Black-owned, like feminine care brand, I guess is what we call it. That's what we're calling it. And the owner was trending because people were so mad that she changed her formula. And they were just saying all this crazy shit, saying that she was selling she sold her company and formula wasn't right. And this is what happens when you sell out and all this stuff. And I'm just sitting over here like, do y'all read? Do y'all read? Do y'all read and do y'all pay attention? So like she had to go, or she came back with like this 13-minute video where she wrote this long letter of what the ingredients were and why she used it and all that. And I'm like, why do you have to do this? I guess I was more disappointed on the end of people coming for her, I guess, because, but I also understand because they came and helped her out at the beginning when they came into her comments and like, not her comments, her reviews, and like boosted her reviews because people were trying to come for her then. I guess people were invested in that brand because she said she got the formula from her ancestors, and then now she had to add some more preservatives, and they mad because it ain't the same thing.
So I remember honey pot for two reasons. One, my cousin had been using honey pot. I don't know how she heard of it, but she had been using it, and she was like, "Cousin, this is so good. You should try it." Da, 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 right? And I was like, "Okay." I didn't really think about it. I was, always had me in a stronghold, so I was using my always in my Tampax. Like they had me in a stronghold, right? So fast forward, I remember honey pot when they started. Okay, so 2020 was it? Maybe 2020. After George Floyd and whatever, his murder and whatnot, all these white companies, especially Target, I remember, because Target's in Wisconsin where the murder happened. So all these companies went on this rampage to, look, we cater to Black people. Look, we target to Black people. And I remember honey pot came up because there was a white woman who was upset that it was a Black company. She was upset that she was a Black company. I think she had found it on Instagram or something. And, the owner was like, yes, I cater to, anyway, it came out that she was Black. And all the Black women was like, oh, no, you didn't. So all the Black women came to her rescue. And I think it was like too much straight that all the Black women went and bought all the honey pot products. So now we all are struck by honey pot. I even went and bought some. However, I was about to throw honey pot away because I got the herbal infused pads. I thought something was on fire. They were a little strong for me. And I don't know why I would want to invest in being on fire. And I was like, and it was funny because I read some, it was a tweet thread and they were like, yeah, honey pot pads got the little seasoning on it. And I was like, y'all can keep these fucking seasonings. This is harsh. But I will tell you, in a pinch, I was shopping online because I've discovered online shopping for like regular stuff now. First, it was just like, all right, if I need something from Amazon. And then it became if I need something big. But now I literally try to do all my shopping online as much as I can now. It sort of saves me money. And by sort of, I say because, I'll still end up going to like the grocery store. I haven't gotten to the Instacart yet. But that's because I never kind of know what I want. So, but yeah, now when it comes to like my toiletries, I buy them on the Target or the Walmart app because then I know I'm going to get in there. If I need 5 toiletries, I'm finna come out with 5 toiletries as opposed to 15 that I'm going to figure out or not really use or whatever. Anyway, long story short, I accidentally bought some more honey pot and I can't tell you, I wasn't on fire. So I too was curious and I was just like, did the recipe change? What happened? But I wasn't that mad. But yeah, they were mad because first of all, they thought she sold the company. And basically sis has come out and said, this was never something she intended to keep for forever. So I don't think she's currently in talks, but it is on the table. Like she may eventually sell it. I have mixed feelings about that. I do get the whole organic products and needing to change because especially in this economy right now, I mean, we finna start paying for air. We paying for water. So I don't know. I get it.
I think people forget that once you start mass producing things, it's not going to be made in your kitchen no more. Like all of the formulas, of course she got the stuff. She has the ingredients, but she's selling them in Target. So she's going to have to mass produce them. So of course she's going to have something that's going to have to make them last longer on the shelves. I
Right.
understand that. And I also understand that if the formula changes, it's not going to fit everybody. But that's with most products. If it don't fit you, why are you up in arms? Like,
Just don't
just
use it.
don't use it.
Right.
Just don't. I just don't see the point of like black women bringing black women down again.
Yeah.
Like she probably already got enough on her plate. She already like when she was reading that letter, sis looked stressed. She looked stressed. Like, and people were talking about that too. She came up here with a hoodie on. Oh my God. Like, girl, she got her own company. Why she got to why? Why? I will come to you in a hoodie too, because y'all stressing me out. I might even come with the hood on.
I had this conversation a lot in the last couple of weeks, and I'm gonna say it loudly and proudly. Hey, Black people, come here. Come here. Come here, Black folks. Come here. Come here. Come here. Listen. This whole American dream and all of these
Respectability politics.
even respectability politics. Who created these dreams and these politics? White people? Why are we holding ourselves to that standard? These are the same people that rushed the Capitol. These are the same colonizers. We finna hold ourselves to the standards of colonizers? Like, y'all, sometimes I get in my abolitionist socialist spirit, and I use the word socialist loosely. I do believe in collectivism. I'll stop with that. I'm not a socialist. I believe in collectivism. But what I'm gonna say is, like, we out here trying to look good for and I'm not even gonna say that this is a black-white thing. What I will say is, who told you what your dreams were? If that didn't come from you organically, then maybe that don't need to be your dream. But we need to stop trying to hold ourselves accountable to stuff that people to bars that other people set, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you know, I don't know if you remember, but a couple years ago, maybe like 10, 15 years ago, maybe, making 100,000 was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you $100,000, oh my God. And so everybody just wanted the six-figure job, the six-figure job, the six-figure job, right? Now, 6 figures, it's a little more than I get. So I would be content with 6 figures. Don't get it twisted. But now 6 figures isn't the goal. Y'all are trying to live up to people who keep resetting the bar, right? I'm just not here for it. I'm not here for it. And he ain't here for it. But I will challenge all of y'all out there. Like, who told you that this needed to be your dream? Whatever your dream is, who told you that's what it needs to be? It's okay if you want to take a step back and redraw that dream. Redraw the unicorn, because it could look different if that's your unicorn. If your unicorn is pink with a purple horn, if that's your dream, fine. Who said unicorns are black with white horns? Who said it? No. But yeah, who said unicorns are white with like pink horns? No, somebody made that up, and that was their vision. Find your own vision, friend. Find your own vision. That's it. I'm stepping off my high horse.
No, I don't know. That irked me that we're sitting here talking about this shit to this woman who has to make business decisions.
Getting on what she wearing, like, that irks me to my core. Yeah. I
just don't feel the urge to like go and make these crazy reviews. If it don't work for me, it don't work for me no more. I'm gonna find another product. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm not the one that's gonna go and make all these bad reviews. I just want to use a product. And that's me with any product. I'll make a good review, but unless your customer service was bad, then
nah, that's what I was gonna say. I will do a bad
unless your customer service is bad, then yeah. But if your customer service is fine and the product just don't work for me, I'm not gonna bash you. Do what you gotta do.
However, I think I've learned my lessons even with customer service reviews, because I lit this place when I went to Austin. I lit this shop, this crepe shop on 2nd Street. I lit them up on their page. They didn't even respond. They didn't even say thank you for your message. Nothing. They didn't even respond. So I might not be doing that too much more.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think people know who they are, right?
Yeah.
And I looked at the reviews for the shop, and it was very, I'll say the reviews were mixed. You had a lot of people who were just like, oh my God, this is so good. And then you had a lot of people complaining as well, but it was about equal. The
Mm-hmm.
problem I had though, and I wish that I was more conscious of these things sometimes, but when I be hungry, I be hungry.
Mm-hmm.
All the negative comments were roughly the same.
Right.
And I wish that I had paid attention, because I would have never frequented that business in the first place had I seen these negative comments. If your negative comments, this is just a word to all business owners, if your negative comments are all over the place, I'm okay with that. I might still come. But when your negative comments are all the same,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be like, y'all can't get that right. Y'all might need to shut down for a couple months and try again, try new formulas, try something else. And this
Mm-hmm.
particular, they have a racist issue. They have a issue with people who are not, and it's not particularly one race, I believe. It's, once again, people who think they out here living the American dream. And anyone who is, theirs is probably more a class thing. I'll go with that. Either way, I wish I had paid more attention before, because I would never went to this space. But anyway, do you know what I'm obsessed with this week?
What, friend?
I am obsessed, because, this being a whole self-care podcast, and, us being self-care agents, I am obsessed with the Black men frolicking trend. Oh my gosh. It's just Black men getting on social media and frolicking. Yeah, the first one I saw was this guy on TikTok. He was just frolicking through a mountain. He was like, I'm gonna try it. And he recorded himself, and he was like, oh my God, this is so great. I feel so good after this. And now it's become a trend. I am here for it. Like, I love when our Black men can just find a little bit of joy in something so simple.
Mm-hmm.
That right there does it for me. The Black men frolicking trend, I have loved it. However, then I saw this one guy last night. He went a little too far. He missed the memo, because he was like, we should have a meetup for this. And I was just like, as a
just imagine the stampede.
agent, huh?
Just imagine the stampede of men frolicking.
Okay, can you see that? Now
No.
that looks ridiculous. I'd be okay if I just see one Black man frolicking through the field. Y'all looking like some damn football team out there frolicking. I'ma laugh and record it.
Oh goodness! Oh my goodness! Okay.
Go ahead, crazy coffee shop.
Okay. No, I agree. I would be okay with one frolicking, but if I see a whole crowd of them, I'm like, what y'all doing? What y'all doing?
Y'all, you listen, the Black urge to run if you see somebody running. So if I see a whole bunch of Black men in the field frolicking, I'm gonna be like, what the hell? Reverse the shit, because I'm not gonna get that close enough. They got a smile on their faces. I'm just gonna see them galloping towards me. I'm gonna put my car in reverse.
You said galloping towards you. Now it looks creepy.
Right. Now it looks creepy. When you become a mass, it looks creepy. It was cool when it was one of y'all. It was cool when it was a small group of y'all. A mob, because that's what I'm gonna call it. A mob of men galloping towards me. I'm gonna put my car in reverse. Mm-hmm.
I'm just going, I don't know. What if you're walking and they're frolicking
reverse? You hear me, friend? Because I'm not going to turn around. No, I'm going backwards, gallop my ass out of there, because apparently they're running from something, because that's what it is. Frolic is too close in a mob type way, because if everybody's not on the same cadence, frolicking would look like running after me. I'm going to go the other way.
You're right, friend. You are right.
Just saying. Y'all need to be careful, Black men. I don't think the frolic meetup is what y'all need to do. I don't. Not until we get a Wakanda to our own space. But no. Mm-mm. Can you imagine them meeting up for a meetup in like Texas in a big ass field? It will look like an unauthorized, unorganized football game or mob. Like when they're just all going in the same direction. Come on. No. Mm-mm.
Oh my God. Mm-mm. Anyway, we like y'all frolicking, just not in crowds. No crowds.
No crowd frolicking. Mm-hmm.
So you want to tell them what we're going to talk about today, sis?
I don't know if it's safe. All right. So facts. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. That's a fact, right? Mm-hmm. And next week we will be bringing on a licensed counselor, so aka a therapist, to chat with us. Also a fact. Her name is Dr. Ebony Blue. Also a fact. And she's a licensed counselor. And so this week, y'all, you are going to be able to contact us to give us questions for Dr. Ebony. So if you want to ask her any like mental health related questions, of course, it's going to be anonymous, or we can say your name if you choose to. But we're going to be able to, I don't want to say real time, because we're going to have the week to collect the questions and then we're going to give them to her when we talk to her, but they will be released next Tuesday. So we are looking at June, the very last Tuesday of, June. Yes, the June Tuesday. I need a calendar. The June Tuesday, it will be released. So in June, we will have answers to your therapist related questions. Mm-hmm. But anyway, in the spirit of that, she's a whole therapist, got the license on the wall to prove it. However, we are also clinicians of sorts. We're practitioners. Let's go with that. We're practitioners. We're wellness practitioners. And so we do wellness things, right? And one of the wellness things that yogis like us and other yogis, Reiki masters, anything that's a little more Western in practice, we all practice this concept called mindfulness. I know you've heard about it, but Kiki, what is mindfulness?
So mindfulness, by definition, is the quality or state of being conscious or aware of something. Mindfulness is also a therapeutic practice, a mental state achieved by focusing on one's awareness on the present moment, while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations, used as a therapeutic technique.
So yes, we use mindfulness and not, those of us that are meditation practitioners, we use mindfulness and not a lot. I meant a lot. I don't know what I just said, but I meant a lot. Practitioners use various ways to practice mindfulness, but they're all based off the 7 same principles. And I got this from an article written in I forgot where I got the article from, but it's written by Rebecca Strauss. And it's called 7 Mindfulness Attitudes. So they're all based off the 7 same principles. The first principle is non-judging. Our minds assess and judge endlessly, right? And so it's funny because when people say no judgment, basically you've already made a judgment. Mm-hmm. I just want to put that out there for y'all. So you can say no judgment as much as you want to, but a judgment has been placed. Even if it's a slight one, it doesn't have to be a large one, but it's a slight one, right? Even when you go talk to your therapist, they're not judging you to make and I hate the term judgment, but they're not judging you so they can look at you negative, but they are going to listen to what you say so that they can better help you. So that is a judgment. So everyone judges in a way. And I know I'm good for saying no judgment when I'm asking for clarity. If somebody makes the opinion like, I don't like green things, right? And I'll be like, why? No judgment. I made a judgment because I'm about to categorize like why they don't like green things, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not in a way to say, what? You don't like green things? So yeah. But anyway, it's a part of our judging is a part of our evolutionary development and necessary for our fight or flight response to danger or threat. Some judgments on a personal level become repetitive and unhelpful and may lead to one's general sense of not being good enough. That is the non-judgment we are going for when practicing mindfulness. So non-judging in this sense is an impartial, it's about becoming an impartial witness is what the article says, to your own experience. So that basically means you stub your toe, right? And instead of being like, damn it, I'm so dumb, or I stubbed my toe there last week, or yeah, because no one stubs their toe and thinks positive thoughts.
Right.
So, you go into the negative, right? But if you are in a non-judging space, you'll be like, I stubbed my toe. And you just kind of leave it there.
But that's what happened.
Yep, that's what happened.
Interesting that we start off with this because I start most of my yoga classes with like breath work, of course, like a slight meditation. And I always tell my students, like, notice your thoughts. And we're not having any judgment towards those thoughts. So it's just literally noticing what you're thinking in the moment. Seems like it can be hard because if you're thinking something bad, then you're judging yourself because I shouldn't be thinking this in the moment. Or maybe you're judging yourself because you're thinking about what you need to eat while you're while you're meditating or doing yoga or anything. But that's one less thing that you have to do with mindfulness is just not judge yourself about it. Mindfulness is just noticing what your thoughts are, noticing what you're doing in the moment, right? Don't have any judgment towards them. We have a million thoughts a day. Having no judgment towards about 10 of them is not going to hurt us.
Right. Might make for a little more sanity in there.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
So the second mindfulness attitude is patience. So patience is the act of understanding that things will unfold in their own time, even when we don't see immediate results. It is about giving yourself permission to take the time and space necessary for mindful practices without attachment to any particular outcome and just see what unfolds. I think patience is the hardest mindfulness technique or attitude for a lot of people. A lot of people just don't have the patience, especially when it comes to mindfulness. We think that we do mindfulness one time and it's supposed to cure everything that that's in the moment that we're feeling. Like you do mindfulness one day and you're like, oh, this felt so great. And then the next day you come back to this mindfulness practice and your mind is going 1,000 miles a minute. And you're like, this didn't help at all. And I see that a lot. It's like you said, this needs to be a daily practice. It's not just a one-time thing. Mindfulness needs to be done all the time. You have to train your mind to do it, right?
Right. Yeah, I have a story. I'm not going to share the story because I'll share the story at another time. But patience, definitely patience. It's not everybody's strong point. Trust
No,
me, firsthand, personal experience.
I could imagine that.
No one asked you, friend.
What's next, friend?
No one asked you. I'm moving forward. Beginner's mind. Too often we let our beliefs and what we know blind us from seeing things just as they are. In mindfulness practices, we try to cultivate a beginner's mind in which we see everything as if seeing it for the first time without any preconceived notions, or expectations. I find this one to be difficult as well. Because I'm one of those people that likes to, one of my learning styles is like, so I'm a kinesthetic learner, and kinesthetic learners tend to learn by doing. So that also to me extends into learn by experience. So like, you drive a car, right? And just like with a car, the more you drive it, the better you are at it. I have a hard time with this beginner's mind thing, because a lot of times I want to come out the gate as good at something. Like you struggled the first time, your first yoga class, because you just knew you were ready. You're like, I'm ready. Let's go. I'm ready. And I wasn't ready. My music wasn't long enough. I hadn't planned out. I wasn't ready. But you get better, you get better with time. But the beginner's mind, I will say where I am good at that is going back to my example. If I find out somebody doesn't like the color green, and when I ask them, no judgment, that is my way of saying I'm coming to this with a beginner's mindset. So when you tell me you don't like green, I'm just going to take it as you don't like green. I am curious because I like some green things. I think kale is good. I like asparagus. There's some green things that I like. So maybe that is a small judgment, because I do like green, but it's not like I'm going to hold you to anything but the fact that you don't like green. So I know if I'm going out for salads, I know probably not to invite you because you don't like anything green. But when I say no judgment, that is my attempt to tell you that I'm coming at this with the beginner's mind. No preconceived notions.
Yeah, it's hard to come to anything without any preconceived notions, because if you have a history of already having a thought in your mind about someone, when they come to you with something else, it's like you can't get that out, and you can't relate to them changing their mind about something. That's what I'm thinking of when it comes to beginner's mind. Like if someone comes with a different opinion and I'm like, oh, but you said before, and it's that can go into the whole cancel culture thing too. Like everybody's like, you can't change your mind. You can't grow up. You can't evolve your thoughts. You can't evolve your morals. All of these things, you have to still be thinking the way you were 20 years ago. So I think that works in those situations as well. Like take people's thoughts for what they are in the moment. And like you said, you can ask questions like, why do you think that way? And kind of challenge your preconceived notions so that you can kind of replace those thoughts and like, okay, well, this is what they think now, or this is what they do now.
Right.
So the fourth attitude is trust. Developing basic trust in yourself and your feelings is integral to meditation training. It's better to trust your own intuition, even if you make some mistakes along the way, than to always look outside yourself for direction. Be open and receptive to what you learn from other sources, but ultimately, the intention is to find your own wisdom from within and to trust in that unfolding. Woo! So, learning to trust in yourself, that might be hard for people too, because you're so used to like getting outside approval or seeking outside approval. And sometimes you get to a point where you just don't trust what you say. You have to get that second approval. So trusting yourself is being mindful that you are capable of doing things right or thinking things through for yourself, right? And you have to develop that trust over time too. It's kind of like what we talked about before with developing patience. Sometimes you have to see yourself making the right decisions over and over again to say, all right, I'm good. I can trust myself, even though this person said this, or even though this is what is recommended. I know from my own experience and my own decision making that this is what I need to do.
It's funny you should say that, since we're talking about Mental Health Awareness Month and, you know, seeing therapists and whatnot, I'll be completely candid. I had gotten to a space where I was no longer trusting myself, wasn't trusting my intuition, wasn't trusting my best judgment. And I was seeking a little too much outside of validation. And that's not me. Like, I've always had a strong and healthy sense of self. So when I felt that, when I saw that, when I was finding myself incapable of making like certain decisions and just feeling, once again, I've told y'all before, I don't like to feel stuck. So when I felt stuck, because I was having a hard time gauging my own and listening for my own inner ear, that's when I sought therapy. So I started seeing a therapist because I just didn't trust myself. And yes, it is a practice. So, you know, I started learning different techniques, and she was giving me different exercises that I could do. And it was small things, but yeah, you have to learn to trust yourself again. So, it's hard.
Also on that, meditation allows you to have that time to think things through and start to trust yourself. This is the time that you actually have to think. You don't have other voices in your ear. This is just you basically giving yourself advice or giving yourself affirmations. So that's another thing, giving yourself affirmations. If you're affirming yourself, you're building trust within yourself. So you're starting to believe what you say to yourself, right? You have to keep doing that. It's like we said with everything else, it's a daily practice. You need to speak to yourself every day and make sure it's something positive. Because if you're always talking negative to yourself, then you're not going to trust yourself, because you already know, I can't do this, right? Because you keep saying it.
Right.
Watch what you say to yourself and how you say it to yourself.
Positive self-talk and and affirmations are like super key, because Lord, I just lost my whole train of thought. I did.
We're going to trust that it's going to come back.
Okay. I like that. I like that, Fran.
So we'll trust that it comes back, and you can move on to the next one, Fran.
Thank you. The next concept is non-striving. And non-striving is what we kind of, I know we say it a lot in my space, like in my yoga space, but it's non-doing. I don't know that people use that concept in mainstream. So let me just give you an example of what it is, right? A lot of times, and I hear this so much when I'm teaching or working with new clients, if only I could sit still, or I don't like to, you know, I can't be quiet. I can't quiet my mind. If only I could quiet my mind. If only I could be, if only I could relax. If only I could be a better meditator. If only I could have a healthier body. If only I could, then I would be X, or I would be okay. And so basically what you're doing, back to that self-talk, that is suggesting that you're not okay where you are, and you're not okay just as you are. And that is not okay. So non-striving is it's a practice that you use again in meditation, and it's just the energy of like not doing that, right? It's not about what you aren't, it's about where you are in this moment, right? So non-striving is not the same as not effort, because it takes effort to be okay with where you are in the moment. It's about being present and letting go without any intention or any results. So, it's not, if only I could sit still for 5 minutes, I would be a better meditator. It's, I'm gonna sit right here and see if I can make it. It's more like that.
I don't have anything to add to that.
We'll go on with the next one then, Frank.
Okay. So the next one is acceptance or acknowledgement. So acceptance means seeing things as they actually are in the present moment. Whatever your present physical, emotional, or spiritual state, if you don't want to remain stuck in a frustrating, vicious cycle of wanting things to be different, you might realize that this is the only time you can love and accept yourself. Remember, this is the only time you have for anything. an important caveat to acceptance is that it does not mean that you have to look to like everything or that you have to take a passive attitude and abandon your principles. It is simply a willingness to see things as they are right now. So we remind ourselves to be receptive and open to whatever we are thinking, feeling, or seeing, and accept it, because that is the key to change, healing, and sustainable growth. Yeah, so just as I said before, the same example, like I start my classes with non-judgment, noticing your thoughts. Acknowledging is what I use, the term that I actually use. So like you're not judging them, you're not picking them apart, you're just acknowledging that they're there. I used to give an image for people to kind of see in their minds. So like think about a tree branch and think about your thoughts flowing in as like birds landing on that tree branch, and they come in one by one by one. And of course the tree branch fills up. So like as they go away, your thoughts come in, they go out. As they go away, the birds fly away. Which is basically just acknowledging that these thoughts are coming in and these thoughts are going out. You're not having judgment towards them. They're just here. And that's what I try to get people to understand is like, we're not here. Meditation is not clearing your mind. It is acknowledging your thoughts in the moment. Now, you can clear your mind by actually putting more thoughts in. So that's where affirmations come in and positive self-talk, all of that. But it's just acknowledging and accepting your current circumstances. And then after you've acknowledged them, like they said, that's when you can think about changing them or think about how you can change your circumstances or how you can change your thoughts.
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I was finished. I was just waiting for you to.
Oh, my bad, friend. I don't have anything to add. I actually agree. And your birds example is a perfect segue to the last concept, which is letting go or letting be. Hell, I think of it as almost the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
Letting go and letting be is okay. So we use this, we meaning most humans, we are really good at letting go and letting be when something negative happens, and not really good. Actually, there are a lot of people who dwell, like people who suffer from anxiety. I'm trying to think. I don't know if the PC thing is to say suffer from, but if you experience, right? If you experience anxiety, that's one thing that you have a hard time doing is letting go and letting be. And you actually kind of like have irrational thoughts tied to them, right? And so that is what makes that's what makes you anxious. But I will say some of us, like those of us that don't experience anxiety and some of the other, things, we are really good at letting go of the negative things. We can be like, no, I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go because it doesn't suit us. It doesn't serve us. We struggle with letting go of positive experiences, right? And I'm not the huge advocate for letting go of positive experience, but I will say this. I am an advocate of sometimes of not holding on to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you hold on to it, that begins to shape
your expectations.
Your expectations, right. Right. I have a friend now, her husband is deployed. And prior to his deployment, and for those of you that don't know, you call a deployment when your spouse or friends or whatever, when they tend to go like they leave the country, or they leave their work duty station. That's technically an deployment because you can deploy right here in the United States. But they just leave their current duty station and go work somewhere else for an extended period of time. That is typically what a deployment is. I don't know if that's the actual definition. I've never been in the military. But anyway, so prior to his going on deployment, like she was like, oh, I know I'm going to be this way. And I know I'm going to be that way. And I know I'm going to be this way. And I was just like, friend, like you got to change this thought pattern, a lot of it, not just a little bit, a lot of it. And then, she was, because we used to do this together and we used to do this together. And like she had tied almost everything positive in her life to her husband. And so I would encourage her to try to have experiences where she can tie something else to it, or maybe not tie anything all to it altogether, because
Right.
like used to do with her husband. So now she's like, I'm not even gonna want to run because I used to do that with him. And that's a positive thing. But like, friend, you still gotta run to take care of you, and that's your self-care. So I just caution people about holding on too tight to even positive memories, because then, should something happen, or if you run with your dog, or if you run with you like to do yoga with the cat, I don't know, but whatever it is, it's that positive experience. You have to be cautious even holding on to the positive things, because when the cat's not there anymore, then what? Are you not going to do yoga? You better say no.
Right.
Just say. So in a meditation practice, letting go and letting be is just a state of being. Like, it's not really holding on to positive or negative. It's just kind of being. Yes. And that is where you want to be in a meditation practice.
Right.
But again, as Ki Kiki has said 85 million times on this recording, it's all a practice. It's all a practice. You are not going to do it one time and think that you are a pro. You are not going to do it one time and think that you are cured. It is a practice. All right. So we've been talking a lot about meditation, and that's just because that's kind of where Ki and I kind of thrive. But there's other ways that you can practice mindfulness. Finally, mainstream has caught on to what the yogis have been putting down, right? Yogis like me, Ki, look at I look more at mindfulness like the definition I find on mindful.org, where it says mindfulness is the basic human ability to be fully present, aware of where we are and what we are doing, and not overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. And it's more readily available when we practice on a daily basis. And this whole concept of mindfulness is now being brought into other arenas. So yes, yogis have been trying this for years. Yogis and people who meditate, we've been doing this for years. Maybe not that well, maybe not that strongly, but definitely, we've been trying it, or we've been being more mindful when it comes to, and I'm going to admit it, I can do it in the realm of yoga. I have a hard time doing it in other practices. And what I mean by that is like people who work in, I'm going to say food industry, we'll say that, they are talking about mindfulness now. Like, I have never used this application, but I do believe the Noom app is designed around mindfulness. They ask you all these questions and whatnot, give you this questionnaire, and are constantly asking you, like, how are you feeling after you ate this? Or how are you feeling before? Because it's all around mindfulness. And then you discover that sometimes we have some unhealthy habits that can be associated with food. Some of us are comforted by food. Some of us, like I am a mindless eater when I'm watching TV. I will get my bowl of popcorn. I've thought about it all day. I'm going to wind down and watch my show at 8:00, and I'm going to have some popcorn because that's my favorite snack. But I realized, like, I've thought about it all day. I was hella mindful. But when I sit down and start eating it, it's mindless. Like, I can look up and I'm going through an entire whatever vessel that I put it in. I just try to be conscious of, like, if you put it in a small bowl, that's all you might eat. But I'm going to eat it all. Now, I already had dinner. I've already had my meals for the day. I don't need this popcorn. And so that's where the mindfulness needs to come in better. Am I hungry? Why am I eating this? So food people, they have captured mindfulness. And I encourage you guys to try mindfulness just in other things, like when you're with your spouse or your partner, when you're with your kids, try mindfulness in those capacities, like just be present. So many times I see this a lot, and I'm hella guilty. Like, we go, you'll see it at dinner tables. You'll go out to eat and you'll see two people sitting across from each other, and they may be hella in love, but they on their phones, right? Y'all are not doing business. Y'all are on Facebook. Yep. So we could do better about being mindful. And those are just two other ways that I know that people practice mindfulness. It's not always about meditation. But mindfulness can enhance meditation. Meditation then enhances mindfulness. So like you can be mindful of what you say, like you're eating, but eating isn't necessarily a meditation. So you can be mindful without meditating, but you can't be, what did I say? But meditation isn't, nope. You can be, okay, I'm gonna make this make sense. Okay, so in meditation, we use mindfulness, but mindfulness doesn't always mean meditation.
Right.
So for example, so makes sense back to eating. Got it? Yeah. So mindfulness is also just kind of being in the moment.
So according to the Mayo Clinic, mindfulness is a type of meditation in which you focus on being intensely aware of what you're sensing and feeling in the moment without interpretation or judgment. And practicing mindfulness involves breathing methods, guided imagery, and other practices to relax the body and mind and help reduce stress. And that's basically what we've been saying this entire time. That's what we do in our meditation practices and our breath work for our classes, for our clients. This is what mindfulness is, and it is a practice, right?
Practice. I just want to say that the Mayo Clinic says that mindfulness is a meditation. And what we were saying earlier is that mindfulness is not always meditation. So just wanted to bring that up. But meditation has been studied in many clinical trials. So let me repeat. Meditation has been studied in clinical trials. The overall evidence supports effectiveness of meditations for conditions like stress, anxiety, pain, depression, insomnia, and even hypertension. Preliminary research indicates that meditation can also help people with asthma and fibromyalgia. And then finally, meditation can help you experience thoughts and emotions with greater balance and acceptance. Meditation has also been shown to improve attention. Improve attention, decrease job burnout, improve sleep, and improve diabetes control. And those are all from the Mayo Clinic. We will drop the link to this article in our, what's it called?
Description, show notes, whatever you want to call it.
So yeah, we have talked y'all to death, actually. So now we're finna drive this plane home because we've prepped y'all. We are ready next week for Dr. Ebony. She gonna talk about how we can utilize the mindfulness, and she gonna come from a therapist perspective because we just gave you a whole bunch of yogi perspectives.
So y'all know the deal. Send us your DMs, your messages, emails, whatever questions you have, send them to us, and we will get them to Dr. Ebony so she can give us some good old professional answers. Yes.
Right. So, Kiki, what do you always tell the people to do?
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Take Care Sis Pod. Of course, we're on all major podcast platforms. You know the deal. Go and rate and review our podcast so we can continue to grow our community. We still looking for the 10, y'all. Y'all gonna make us come for you. We still looking for the 10 reviews. But where can they find you, Ki?
You can find me in the club. Sorry. Told y'all I needed a nap. Sorry.
She's gonna be in club nap with a blanket over her head. That's all.
Right. But you can find me on yoga_with_Ki. You can find me there, or you can find me on my webpage, which is yoga with Ki, no underscores, yogawithki.space. And on both of those platforms, you can send me a message if you want some of this good mindfulness meditation, because this is what I do. So yeah, in addition to yoga, I legit teach meditation. Holla at me.
That's right. You heard her. Y'all know where to find me. Everywhere at This Curvy Yogi. That's curvy with an I, not a Y. And same thing, my website is thiscurvyyogi.com if you want to take some classes, which I'm about to go teach a class in about an hour now. Y'all want to come take some classes. If you want one-on-one sessions, I also do one-on-one meditation sessions. Hit me up and we can do that.
Hit her up and you can do it.
So what you going to do for self-care this week, friend?
This week. Me and my line sisters are actually going to go see, there's a play in town. We are going to go see said play. So I get to do that. I actually have, last week was really busy. This week is going to be really busy because I am moving.
You got your boxes packed up and bags and stuff? You got anything packed up, friend?
Yes, I do have some things packed up. I actually decided to be super eco-friendly. And I'm not going to use like boxes. I'm using like those Tupperware containers. So this is actually costing me a hell of a lot more as well. But using Tupperware containers, and I'm actually like physically just going to take things. So I've seen some different hacks where you can put the things on the hangers and then you tie up the hangers all together and you just move it that way. I'm gonna be doing little things like that. So it sounds like it's gonna be more work, but it's exercise and more steps.
Sounds good, friend. I'm proud of you. I thought you were gonna say no, honestly.
What about you, friend? What you got going on this week?
Just focusing on making sure my family's okay.
Yeah.
So, we always talk about self-care for ourselves, but self-care is relational. So making sure the people around you are good is good self-care for yourself. Keeps your stress down, keeps their stress down, and yeah.
Yep.
So it's simple as that.
Yep. I agree, friend. Well, look, good people listening to this podcast, and Ki, I want you to take care.
Sis, I want you to take care.
Bye, girl.
Bye.